From the grounds of West Deptford High School in West Deptford, New Jersey, GCEN presents high school football. Tonight, it's a Group 2 matchup. Haddonfield taking on West Deptford. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Scott Chapelier. Beautiful night here for football, about 70 degrees, a slight breeze, a chance of rain. But one thing we're certain, a lot of thunder tonight. Big hitting between these top teams in all of South Jersey. West Deptford, the perennial champion, but it's Haddonfield who is now king of the mountain. Of course, they defeated this very West Deptford team on this very field last year, December the 3rd, in a great game that we had right here on GCEN. Well, Scott, of course, these two teams, as we mentioned, becoming true rivals. West Deptford has owned Haddonfield during the regular season. However, Haddonfield has defeated West Deptford each of the last two times in the playoffs, each team perhaps with a score to settle.
Absolutely. I mean, these two teams have gotten to know each other so well over the last few years. As Frank Delano said, this is the 7th meeting in the last 36 games between these teams. You know, it almost gets to the point where there's nothing new to show between these teams except the kids. So they're just going to line up and find out which team's better at the end of the night.
For Haddonfield, they boast a multifaceted attack with many Division I prospects. They are led with their running game, and that is Chris Dangler. Dangler has been absolutely unbelievable these past two games, 3 touchdowns in each, and he's the man that makes it all happen.
You know, Chris Dangler, as Coach Delano said, he's found another gear this year that has helped him, show some breakaway speed, averaging over 22 yards a carry and only a handful of carries so far this year, but over 300 yards rushing is pretty amazing.
On the other side of the football, West Deptford really likes their running attack this year. They feel that they can run between the tackles. First time in a long time, probably since they had Tom Walls, who, of course, went on to Boston College. But it's Josh Cornelius who's going to lead the way despite a bit of a setback.
Yeah, apparently he stubbed his toe earlier this week, so he's not going to be punting tonight, as actually his younger brother Luke is going to be punting, a freshman. But Josh will still be dependent upon to carry the football. He's the kicker for this team. They're going to rely on him a whole lot, and on defense, too, at linebacker. He's going to carry the load for this team.
There's really no way of figuring out how to determine who's going to win this game until the very last whistle. Each game that they've played over the past couple of years has been back and forth. Last year, Haddonfield came away with a big lead early, and then West Deptford came storming back. So turn it on early, turn it down often, and don't go anywhere. We'll have another great matchup here. West Deptford, Haddonfield from West Deptford High School here on the GCN.
Lenny, Vermont, and Leonard Realtors are known for our innovations in real estate sales. Now we're adding to the technologies available to sellers and buyers by making it easier to get information about a home when a potential buyer sees our real estate sign. At the top of these signs is a text code that can be used in conjunction with a buyer's mobile phone to bring up a complete description of the property, and with a smartphone, photographs, floor plans, and maps as well. Simply enter the text code from the sign into your phone to retrieve this information, and for even more details, press the link to contact the listing agent. Lenny, Vermont, and Leonard Realtors, for innovations in real estate sales. Sports Specialties, your hometown sports outfitter for the serious athlete, is located at 613 Station Avenue, Haddon Heights. We focus on providing top-of-the-line equipment and uniforms at competitive prices and with a level of service not available at the big box sporting goods stores or online sports suppliers. Sports Specialties carries the Zenith football helmet that is designed with the goal of reducing the risk of concussive episodes. Zenith Adaptive Head Protection is a system of integrated technologies designed to reduce the sudden movement of the head by adapting to different energy levels with aware flow shock absorbers, and therefore offers outstanding protection. Sports Specialties, providing the competitive edge for over 22 years.
The Retrospect is your very local source of news and features that you can't get anywhere else. Each week you'll read the headlines from your hometown and surrounding suburban towns. You'll read about the events and people that make your community unique. Stories about your friends and neighbors, and a weekly calendar of events. You'll also take a trip back in history each week when we take you down memory lane, and you'll be able to check out the legal notices once a week and all in the same place. And don't forget about local sports from the schools and community leagues right in your hometown. To find out how to get your copy, visit www.theretrospect.com.
Westmont Ace Hardware has been serving the South Jersey area since 1932. The third generation of the founding family still operates our large modern store at 127 Haddon Avenue in Westmont. We offer the convenience of being located right in town on the main street with off-street parking and no hassles driving miles to a shopping center. Westmont Ace Hardware is known for the variety of tools, hardware, and general merchandise that it carries. But we are best known for our knowledgeable salespeople and personal service. If you can describe your hardware need, we can find the exact product to satisfy it. Westmont Ace Hardware, the place to go for all your hardware needs.
Both of these teams would like to control the clock. Field position will be critical, and we'll see how it starts here as we await the kick of Cornelius, and we're underway here at West Deptford. Back to take it in the end zone, and the kicking game's going to play a huge role this evening, Scott.
Yeah, and Josh Cornelius has proven that he can kick the ball like that, and Alex Walter, the kicker for Haddonfield, was booming some kickoffs during the warm-up, so may see a lot of drives starting at the 20.
First down and 10 from that 20-yard line. We mentioned that West Deptford will be missing a key component of their defensive line, and we'll keep an eye on that because that may be an area that they will try to exploit once they realize that he is out. First and 10. Inside handoff, and not a whole lot there. Gain of maybe 1 or 2. Dangler on the carry.
And Jameel Pollard made the tackle there, and of course he'll be a factor on the West Deptford defense, Division I prospect who had verbal to Penn State. So, we'll see how Haddonfield tries to combat him as the game wears on.
Haddonfield has scored a grand total of 93 points in the first 2 games, giving up 0. So this is a vaunted offense coupled with an excellent defense. Second down for the Bulldogs. Again, out of the shotgun. And the quarterback keeps, and he's into the secondary. And a nice run by Simonecki.
Yeah, Simonecki, was actually a wide receiver before this year, but took over quarterback and, obviously has the ability both to run and has thrown very little this year, only 3 pass attempts this season.
That's enough for the first down. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. We're just a minute in here. Group 2 showdown between the 2 powers. You have to believe, Scott, that whoever wins this one becomes the favorite to win Group 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, it's still just week 3, but this is a huge game.
Quick out. Simonecki finds his man, and that'll be very close to a first down. A quick hitter for Matt Baya. Of course, his brother now up at Princeton playing quarterback. Baya was a key part of that championship team last year.
And, of course, his little brother is also getting some Division I AA looks, some Ivy League looks as well. So they could play maybe on the same team or maybe even on different teams against each other once he gets to college.
This is a Haddonfield team, as we mentioned, that has 4 or 5 guys who are garnering Division I interest. And that's a rarity for any team in the Colonial Conference, particularly for Haddonfield. But that speaks volumes about how this program has evolved. First down and 10, again, for the Bulldogs. And we're going to have a penalty here in the area of holding. It looked like it was Walker on the carry. Take a look at Frank Delano. We mentioned the job that he has done. Of course, he was at the helm last year, and he's really created an atmosphere of winning here at Haddonfield.
Yeah, I mean, first as an assistant coach and now in his 10th year as head coach for the Bulldogs, he's done an amazing job of building this program up into what it is now.
So that'll back up the Bulldogs 10 yards. And again, you have to believe that this is going to be a game of possession, Scott. And anytime you shoot yourself in the foot with a penalty, you're playing right into the hands of the opposition.
Yeah, this is definitely not a game where you want to get into second and long, third and long.
Quick handoff up the middle. Pick up about 4 or 5. That'll bring up a long second down. We'll call it about 14. There you see Dangler. Dangler has been just unbelievable. 330 yards over the past 2 games. And 141 coming last week. 3 touchdowns. 2 on the ground, 1 via a kickoff return versus Collingswood last week. Simonecki flushed out of the pocket, throws it up, man wide open, and overthrows his intended receiver, Walker. It looked like Simonecki kind of rushed that pass a little bit, He could have easily underthrown the pass and allowed Walker to come under it as there was a blown coverage, but instead it'll bring up a long third down.
And, when we talked to Frank before the game, he talked about the fact that, they're not a team that throws the football. If they want to establish the running game exactly for this reason, because one incomplete pass like this, and suddenly they're in 3rd and long, and now they pretty much have to throw the football.
One thing that Haddonfield has working is that Chris Dangler is the type of player that can break even a relatively benign run into something big. Deep drop. Simonecki flushed again out of the pocket, runs into his own man and then into the arms of West Deptford's big number 77, Jamil Pollard, and he's a man that we'll be talking about throughout the evening.
I mean, you got to love Jamil Pollard. He's 6'5", 285, just loves to get in there and loves to hit. And, he saw the opportunity, and once Simonecki ran into his own lineman, it was all over with.
On offense and defense, typically, Scott, there's one or two guys that you always have to account for. Jamil Pollard is that guy for West Deptford.
Absolutely.
So a long 4th down here, about 19 yards, and the Bulldogs will be forced to punt it away with 8:35 and counting remaining here in this first quarter. Punt away, and a fair catch called and taken at the 34-yard line by Aaron Bundy. Bundy, a name that probably very familiar with here in South Jersey. First down and 10 for the Eagles, their first time with possession. We talked a little bit before, Scott, about this vaunted Haddonfield offense. Well, I tell you what, the only offense scoring more points than them, West Deptford, they've scored 105 points over the past 2 weeks, shutting out Audubon 49-0 and defeating Sterling 56-12. Cornelius on the carry, not a whole lot there. Second down.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things we're really going to have to keep an eye on as the game wears on, is that neither of these teams have been challenged in their first 2 games, and both teams' starters have been off the field by the end of the first half. So, neither of these teams have had to play 4 quarters of football yet, and we'll have to see who that affects as the game wears on.
There you see Clyde Folsom, certainly always part of the discussion when you talk about the top coaches in all of South Jersey. He has done a yeoman's job here at West Deptford. And Haddonfield just denying anything right now from West Deptford. They'll lose a couple of yards on that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and a long 9.
And that was Phil Fisher, the other halfback, along with Cornelius. And again, neither of these players have had many carries yet this season. I mean, between the 2 of them, they've had 11 carries. So it'll be interesting to see how they hold up.
Quick drops setting up the screen, overthrown, but a nice catch made there by Jakubowski. But Hannon made it a little bit tough on him. So as a result of him reaching out, he didn't have an opportunity really to avoid the Haddonfield defense. And it's 3 and out for the Eagles, so that's a moral win for Haddonfield.
And it was a nice tackle by Perkins as well, because if Jakubowski gets by him, he might have a shot to pick up the first down.
So 4th down and 5, and again, it's going to be West Deptford punting away to the always dangerous Haddonfield's Chris Dangler. Taken at the 26-yard line, right up the gut. Dangler finds a seam. Dangler right up the middle to the 45, down the sideline at the 30. Has one man to beat, cuts it inside and taken down at the 9-yard line.
Wow, he just found a huge hole there on that return. Once he got it, I mean, he got a good running start, and they're lucky that they were able to get him before he got to the end zone.
Well, head coach Frank Delano said that he has found another gear this year, and we've seen it already on display tonight. As you can see, after avoiding that tackle, he just kicked it up a notch, but this may be coming back due to a penalty on the field. That's going to negate an absolutely huge play by Dangler.
Ooh, that'd be a shame.
So if it is a hold, that's going to come all the way back to Haddonfield's side of midfield. So ostensibly, Scott, this is going to be about a 60-yard penalty.
Yep, way back at the 46 of West Deptford, so they'll be back in their own territory again. Huge break for West Deptford there.
Holding call against Haddonfield.
That backs them all the way up.
Penalty's going to bring the ball all the way back to the...
Holy smokes. They're still going back. They're running out of room here. This is more than a 60-yard penalty.
This has got to be more than one penalty, doesn't it?
No. Unless it was a personal foul.
Wow.
So that's backed up all the way inside the 20. So you're talking essentially about an 83-yard penalty. That may be the most egregious hold that I've seen in some time. And of course the argument is, Scott, that without the hold, would Dangler have made that return?
Obviously so.
First down and 10, Bulldogs. 6:20 remaining. We are scoreless here at West Deptford. Simonecki keeps, and he's cut down at about the 23. Pickup of about 5, 2nd and 5.
And, you know, Simonecki is actually one of the leading rushers on the team. So, you know, obviously they're willing to run the ball with him and use that speed that he has. So,
second down and 5. I formation for the Dogs. Handoff inside, and Dangler will pick up maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid defensive front that West Deptford puts out there with Josh Roan, Jamil Pollard at the tackles, and you know, even with Phil Fisher, another veteran guy at defensive end. I mean, you know, I think they're going to find tough sledding between the tackles.
Well, it's interesting that West Deptford's Clyde Folsom said one key to today's game is we have to avoid major penalties. Right now, it's Haddonfield that has not had the ability to do that. Pitch inside, driving forward and close to the first down. It looks like it'll be enough. When in doubt, go to Chris Dangler. Well, the first drive, Scott stopped by a Haddonfield penalty, and of course that kickoff or punt return stopped by a Haddonfield penalty. They'll see if they can continue to maintain possession. First down, and that's big right there to kind of get the monkey off your back.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, and this is kind of what they want to do is build long, time-consuming drives and grind it out on the ground.
Simonecki, quarterback draw, and cut down by Hannon.
Yeah, you notice Phil Fisher stayed at home there at defensive end, and Hannon came up to help out. And you know, I think they're quickly learning to keep an eye on Simonecki, and you know, that he's going to keep the ball as often as not.
Second down. We'll call it 9. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs. Clock continues to run inside of 4 minutes now. First quarter. Haddonfield struck first last year on this field in the South Jersey Championship game. Simonecki, quick out, finds Walker. Walker cuts it back inside, and Hannon will push him back. And he's still driving forward, and that'll be enough for a first down. So a great effort by Walker.
Yeah, very impressive. Walker's a really nice-sized kid, 6'2", 175. You know, a kid that another one of those that group of Haddonfield kids that's getting some interest from Division I schools. You know, he's getting some CAA looks. You know, he may get some Ivy looks before it's over. And that's one of the things that Coach Delano talked about, is that all these kids have not just the potential on the field, but in the classroom as well. And that's why they're getting these looks from these great Division I AA schools.
Another penalty here, and this one's going to go against the Bulldogs. Dead ball foul, procedure. Haddonfield, first down and 15 now.
And another penalty for Haddonfield.
That's their third penalty already. You know, Scott, one of the things that is always difficult for teams of this caliber is they tend to roll over everybody, and you don't know how they're going to perform in a game that's tight.
Absolutely.
First down, 15. Simonecki, empty backfield. And again, another penalty. And this is why head coaches have gray hair.
You know, and Coach Delano seemed pretty happy with the, you know, the attitude of his team coming into this game, despite the magnitude of it. You know, he said they were, you know, had the radio on, were dancing in the locker room before the game. They were much looser than last year's regular season game at Haddonfield. And, you know, after a pretty promising start, they may be showing a few nerves here.
First down and 20 for the Bulldogs.
Already their fourth penalty of the game for 30 yards. But obviously, as you noted before, that one penalty on the kick return was a lot more damaging than just 10 yards.
Simonecki fakes the handoff, rolls to his right with a lot of room already into the secondary. Misses 1, 2, and it's finally the third and fourth tacklers of West Deptford to bring him down, but a huge gain on the quarterback keep.
Tell you what, he's thrown the ball pretty well, and you've got to love the way that he's running the football, and he's getting some good blocking downfield.
That did not look like a waggle. That looked like a run play entirely.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely a design play.
Second down and 5 as Haddonfield approaches midfield. Ball spotted on their own 45. The pitch, Dangler drops it, falls on it. And that'll lose another 5 yards. That'll bring up a third down and 10. Dangler may have peaked.
Yeah, might have looked upfield before he grabbed that football.
It's a fast-moving first half, and I'm not sure that either coach is disappointed with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Clyde Folsom would like to see a little bit more out of his offense, but critical third down here. Third down and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Bulldogs. West Deptford with only one possession. It was a 3 and out. Simonecki out of the shotgun, keeps, drops, has time, finds his man. It's caught. It's Walker. Walker still on his feet. Walker breaking tackles down to the 35-yard line. Well, I tell you already, Scott, I've been impressed with the arm of Simonecki and the pass catching ability of Walker. You can see why he's garnering Division I ability, but I think one of the things that perhaps goes unnoticed too is Walker's ability to run with the football.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, the yards after catch there, I mean, he caught that ball right at the first down marker and gained an extra 15 yards after that. So now they're deep in West Deptford territory and still driving.
First down and 10, ball at the 35. Simonecki, hand off inside, and finally brought down after 3 or 4 yards. Before I forget, we had a few penalties here. Let's go through our officials tonight. The referee is Harry Davis. The umpire, John Calabria. Linesman Tom Farr, line judge Jim McGovern, back judge Jack Grenfell, and our always reliable clock operator is Fred Kohler. Second down, we'll call it 7, and clock continues to run. It stopped with 9.2 seconds. And now the clock will run. So that'll do it for the first quarter. It's been a lot of Haddonfield offense. Despite that, no score as we head to break. Haddonfield and West Deptford. Stick around. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment.
Hello, my name is Eric Scheinolt, and welcome to Burlington Carpet One. We are family owned and operated for over 40 years in the South Jersey area.
We are located at the corner of Clementsbridge Road and Route 30 in Barrington and offer top brands of carpet and flooring, including Bigelow, Lee's, Stainmaster, Armstrong, and Mannington, just to name a few. We have a price guarantee that is ironclad. You will pay the lowest price in the area, guaranteed, and we will also guarantee our installation for the entire life of your floor. Some of our floors are guaranteed for up to 50 years, and this is special. If you don't like your floor for any reason, including color, we will replace it for free and pay the labor.
Please feel free to contact me or any one of my staff. We are your neighbors. We all live in South Jersey. We would love to get to know you and show you what Burlington Carpet One is all about.
Print it, copy it, ship it, and express it. We can print from your computer files or provide creative services, graphics, and typesetting, along with collating, binding, and laminating. So let us help you with your reports, brochures, yearbooks, newsletters, pamphlets, programs, business cards, forms, stationery, and more. And with 7 copy machines on site, we get it done fast. We carry shipping supplies and can provide packing service for you. We are an authorized shipper for both FedEx and UPS. We also provide notary service, custom imprinted products such as hats, cups, and pens, and fax service. Print it, copy it, ship it, and express it. Chick-fil-A at the Audubon Crossing Shopping Center offers a delicious and healthy menu of freshly made chicken sandwiches, wraps, salads, side dishes, and desserts, along with a complete breakfast menu. Community service is important to us, and this football season we'll be serving our famous chicken sandwiches at concession stands for select local high school matchups. A portion of each sale will be donated to the participating schools as a fundraiser. So look for the great taste of Chick-fil-A at a game near you and at our restaurant in the Audubon Crossing Shopping Center. It will be our pleasure to serve you.
Welcome back to West Deptford. Rob Christ here with Scott Chapelier bringing you Group 2 football action. West Deptford hosting Haddonfield. 2nd down and 7. This drive has consumed over 6 minutes on the clock. This is their 10th play of the drive. Simonecki hands off, an end around, and Hannon beat on the outside, down the far sideline. First down, Haddonfield with Matt Baya and a big carry.
Another big run by Matt Baya. He can do a little bit of everything for you. I mean, he's a plays receiver, but, he's the kicker, he's the punter. He can run. He plays linebacker on defense. Kind of like his brother in that way, does a lot of everything for this team.
1st and 10, Haddonfield. Clock will continue to run. This is a drive that has, as we mentioned, consumed close to 7 minutes. And you know what, Scott? It's almost as if both coaches are happy about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Simonecki again on the carry. Looks to cut it outside. Cut down at the 10-yard line. Nice tackle made in the open field by Alex Holt. And he said, why would both coaches be happy? Well, Haddonfield wants to dominate the football. With that, they're not allowing that vaunted West Deptford offense to be on the field. But conversely, West Deptford feels like their defense is holding, and they're still able to hold here as West Deptford yet to crack the end zone.
Yeah.
Tackle made there by Alex Holt. Anthony Scarato's former number. Ironically, this is Hall of Fame night. Anthony Scarato, the former Penn State star, to be honored tonight for Hall of Fame night here at West Deptford High School. Simonecki out of the shotgun. Quick drop, flushed out by Pollard. Again, Simonecki, and now throws it into the end zone and wisely throws it away. But again, you see a little bit of that escapability of Simonecki.
Yeah, and good pressure up front, though. Pollard flushed him out of the pocket, and then more pressure came up from the ends, and he ended up just having to get rid of the football. And I think that was definitely a throw out of the end zone.
2 different Eagles with an opportunity to swoop down on Simonecki. They came up empty. 3rd down now and 9.
Certainly don't want to make a mistake down here at this time.
.10:36, we're scoreless. I formation, and Dangler will go in motion. Simonecki rolls to his left, pulls up, looks inside, touchdown! Walker.
Walker again, finding a hole in that defense, just sitting down there, and Simonecki buried it right between the numbers.
Well, again, Simonecki kind of rolling to his offside there. Against the grain, pulls up and throws a seed, and right between the 2 and the 1, Mike Walker scoring the first touchdown of the night. And now West Deptford will look to extend to 7-0. Drive 8 minutes and 50 seconds culminating in the Walker TD. The extra point is up and the kick is good. So Haddonfield strikes first. They lead 7-0 with 10:30 remaining in this first half. West Deptford back to receive the kick. First time tonight. Walter to kick it away. And booms one deep into the end zone, and this will not be returned. Walter showing off that vaunted leg.
First and 10, West Deptford from the 20-yard line.
Like I said earlier, he was booming them in practice during warm-ups. And
here you see the nephew of our own John Mondelli, Ty Cobb, son of John Cobb.
We'll try not to hold that against him.
I tell you what, I've been doing football around here and soccer for some time. I can remember when he was 1/3 that size. Handoff, and not a whole lot there for Josh Cornelius. This is essential, this series, Scott, for West Deptford to get a first down.
Absolutely. They've got to get a couple of first downs and try and, A, get the ball out of their own end, and, B, give their defense a little bit of a break. I mean, they have several kids that play both ways, but, you know, it's one thing when you're blocking for your own team moving forward, and it's another thing when you're having to stay on the field trying to tackle the other team. So, you know, if they can just give their defense a little bit of a break here, it'd be a big boost to this team.
Second down and 7. Towns in the backfield. And a little inside double reverse. Cornelius around the end. A big hit laid out by Simonecki. Cornelius on Simonecki. And that's a first down for the Eagles. And I think that's going to allow Clyde Folsom to breathe a little bit easier. You can see that Cornelius really favoring that 1 foot.
Yeah, you know, and obviously he's not punting tonight, but he's still kicking, and it'll be interesting to see if this affects the kicking game as the game wears on. You know, something that West Deptford's always prided itself on, you know, whether it'll bother him late in the game.
Inside handoff, Towns into the secondary, driving, extending, first down. Keith Towns is a big part of this offense. Gerald Towns, 154 yards on 5 carries in the opener against Audubon. And this is a guy that Clyde Folsom really likes, and he's just going to get better, just a sophomore.
Well, you got to love his size. I mean, we're talking 6'2", 245.
Cornelius cut down at the line of scrimmage by Dangler, but you know what they like about this team, Scott, is the fact that they really feel like they can run between the tackles, and that's probably how you have to attack this West Deptford team.
Yeah, and you know, this team will not have long-term success. They don't have, you know, the speed guys that they have in the past, so they're going to have to run between the tackles to be able to move the football downfield.
And it rolls, keeps across midfield into the secondary, driving, first down, West Deptford. Nimble run by Jake Hannon.
And, you know, you haven't seen Hannon run the ball a whole lot, but if you noticed a couple of plays ago when Cornelius got that first down, Hannon was blocking for him on that play ahead of him, and then you see him take off with the football there. I mean, Hannon's become a lot more physical with the football as he's aged.
Flag on the play.
Our referee, Harry Davis, showing there was a hold or a block in the back against the Eagles. So that'll negate that first down.
You know, still an 8-yard gain for Hannon, but then the penalty from there, and that's a tough blow for this team, although, you know, they've still moved the football pretty well to this point. So, you know, hopefully, you know, it's still 2nd and 12. They've still got 2 more downs.
Second down and 12.
2nd down and 12 for the Eagles. Hannon looking to the sidelines for the offensive call, and Folsom will have it run in by Tom Jakubowski. A split end, a big part of this West Deptford offense. Good size, Jakubowski, 6'3". Again, inside, it's Cornelius to the 30. They'll be caught from behind by Dangler.
Well, obviously Cornelius still has a little bit of speed even with the injury.
And Cornelius will come off. You can see again, kind of favoring that foot. And maybe just getting a breather, but a big run there by Cornelius.
First down, Eagles.
44-yard gain, up to 59 yards rushing now for Cornelius. Might see Towns here.
This is just what West Deptford likes to do, is counterpunch, and Towns driving forward. If you're Clyde Folsom, this is exactly what you want. Not just one big play, but a drive that's protracted and punishing. Second down, actually first down. First down and goal at the 2-yard line.
And you've got to love the way that Towns runs the football, just straight ahead. Even as just a sophomore, he knows he's got the size to compete in the middle, and he just runs north-south.
They give it to Cornelius. Cornelius, and he is negated, loses the football. But Hannon, Johnny on the spot.
Big hit there from Alex Walter at outside linebacker.
You know, that's a situation where they're trying to reward Cornelius because of the big run, but sometimes you just want to go to the big guy and get it done with, and you got to believe that Towns is going to be the guy right here. Just try to pound it in with that big 6'2", 245 frame.
Uh-oh.
Laundry everywhere. False start against West Deptford. And we mentioned before, you cannot commit big penalties. One of the things that Coach Folsom pointed out, and this would certainly qualify.
Yeah, I guess the nice thing is the way that Towns has been running the football, second and goal at the 7 doesn't really make that much of a difference for him as second and goal at the 2.
Is that what you do here? Do you give it to Towns?
I don't know. Maybe you almost run a play action here because you've got Jakubowski, who's got a lot of size.
There it is. It's Cornelius. Cornelius cuts it inside. Touchdown.
Nice job. Macklin was there waiting for him, and he just faked him out, stayed inside, and got it into the end zone.
Well, you have to have a tremendous amount of respect for that young man right there. It's really cut against the grain, and that's got to be painful with that broken pinky toe. But he really put the Eagles on his back on that drive, and now we'll try to finish things. Cornelius last week against Sterling, 8 extra points. He accounted for 20 points through 2 touchdowns and 8 extra points, and now he'll try to account for the first 7. Timeout called by West Deptford. Well, we expected a great game, and we're off to a great start.
Absolutely, and you know, the interesting thing to watch over the course of this game will be when the game has been lower scoring the last few years, that's when Haddonfield's found the most success. When the score gets up there in the 20s and 30s, that's when West Deptford finds ways to win games.
Cornelius on to attempt the point after. The kick is up, and it's good. We are knotted at 7 here with 6:41 remaining in the first half. 6:41 remaining. We are knotted at 7. Rob Christ here with Scott Chapelier, our opener here on the Gloucester County Educational Network, and I couldn't think of a better game to open up a season with. We look around South Jersey, Scott. I want you to think about some of the surprise teams. We'll talk a little bit about that momentarily. But first, it's going to be Dangler, who we've seen can be very dangerous in the return game. Of course, almost scoring a touchdown earlier. It was called back via a holding penalty. Line drive kick, and again, it's going right to Dangler across the 20. Still on his feet, and finally cut down at the 26-yard line.
That was actually Matt Baya there, and you know, another dangerous guy. I mean, you know, as dangerous as Dangler is, you know, the other guy back there is no piece of cake either to bring down.
First and 10, Haddonfield.
So Scott, surprises this year.
I think it's I don't know if it's necessarily a surprise, but it's nice to see Timber Creek play the way that they have this year. They've had a couple of big games early in the year, and they haven't always won those games, even when they've had really strong teams in the past couple of years. It's really nice to see them actually come out, play the way that you expect them to play, and still be undefeated at this point.
Quarterback draw Semenecki, and we're going to have another holding penalty here. So this play's coming back. How about a Colonial Conference last week? Haddon Heights upending Woodbury. Surprised by that?
I was, I guess, maybe more to see just how good Haddon Heights might be than to see Woodbury struggling, because I think we've seen, Woodbury lost almost their entire offensive line, only have one returning starter. They have a couple of kids on that line that haven't even lined up in a three-point stance before this year. So there's a lot of inexperience. It may take some time for that line to gel, and as great as Averett is, he can't do it all himself.
Over in Group 4, we saw Williamstown with a big win last week over Cherokee, and also Cherry Hill East with a big win over Washington Township.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Cherry Hill East plays over the course of the season. They've had a couple of nice wins early, but the schedule's only going to get tougher from here on out, and it'll be interesting to see if they can maintain that momentum throughout the season and maybe make the playoffs for the first time in a while.
Tom Cohen, the head coach at Cherry Hill East, with the spread offense, and it looks like it's finally taking hold over at Cherry Hill East. So after the holding penalty, a handoff inside, not a whole lot there. And again, Haddonfield has repeatedly shot themselves in the foot. There you see a good shot of big Gerald Towns. He's not just Towns, he's an entire city.
Yeah, not just town. Well, actually, he might be several towns put together.
Yeah, that's right.
2nd down and 16.
Look out in the stands. We see a Gary Brackett jersey on display here. Brackett out for the season with the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, a local product out of Glassboro High School, and went on to play his football at Rutgers. 2nd down and 17. Semenecki rolls to his right. Now flushed out of the pocket, and he throws it, and it's knocked down. Now, kind of an interesting play there. You can't really call grounding, I guess, if you throw it off the defensive player, can you?
Yeah, well, he didn't have much of a choice, because I don't think there was any way for him to get it around that defensive player. That's Pollard again, putting more pressure on Semenecki. And, for such a big guy, Pollard has nice side-to-side speed to flush the quarterback out of the pocket and to stay near him to keep him from actually getting around the corner and being able to scramble for yardage.
Well, this is a big play here for West Deptford. It's going to be a big stop, and if they can force West Deptford to punt it away deep in their own end. We talked about how the penalties have really played a role in this game, and they have really hurt West Deptford. 5 penalties,
40 yards for Haddonfield already.
Semenecki again rolling to his right. He'll tuck it under, has some room to operate, and he's pushed out about the 30-yard line, and that'll force the Bulldogs to punt it away.
And that was Alex Olt again. They're doing just enough to trip him up and to let the rest of the defense come in behind and clean it up.
Brings up 4th down and 6 for Haddonfield.
4th down and 6 for the Bulldogs. And back to receive the punt is Aaron Bundy. Punt is away. Bundy underneath it. Now backing up over his head. Lets it bounce. Doesn't touch it. And that is a colossal error as it is down at the 9-yard line.
It looks like the breeze is picking up a little bit, and he was kicking with that wind, and it just seemed to just take that ball and carry it right over Bundy's head.
61-yard punt. And you talk about a big change. We mentioned what a big stop that was, forcing Haddonfield to punt deep in their own end, and now it is West Deptford who's backed up in their own end with just under 5 minutes remaining. There you get a look at the breeze that you mentioned.
Those flags were barely moving earlier in the game, but it seems to be picking up. And, we saw all the clouds and the chance of rain earlier. It could mean that maybe some of that weather is headed this way.
Absolutely. 1st down and 10. if you're West Deptford, at the very least, you'd like to come away with a first down and eat some clock. Little end around, and not a whole lot there. As Smith on the carry. Gain of 1 or 2.
And, you know, obviously 91 yards in 5 minutes is not something that West Deptford does on a regular basis. I mean, you know, they were able to do it 80 yards in under 4 minutes on the last drive because they broke a couple of big plays, but they're going to have to do that again if they hope to score again before the half.
Second down. And right up the middle, Towns into the secondary, just bowling his way forward. Ball comes loose, and West Deptford on the football. That's just a hustle play right there by Todd Farrell.
Todd Jarrell, man, a great player at linebacker for this team, makes a nice play at guard, being Johnny on the spot to pick up that fumble.
Well, again, Todd Jarrell, and that's only comes through hustle. Towns just punishing that Haddonfield defense, but it's Jarrell that makes the big play, as now West Deptford with breathing room as the clock continues to move, headed to the 4-minute mark. Inside handoff and just not much doing. Cornelius for a gain of 1.
And, you know, when I saw Connor Smith out there to start the drive, I was wondering if maybe Cornelius was feeling the effects of that toe a little bit, but it's nice to see him back on the field.
Second down. Towns your lone running back. Hannon throws into the flat, has his man, and that's Cornelius. That'll be very close to another first down.
That's an interesting play there to call. I mean, you know, they don't throw the ball much at all, and that's Hannon's first completion of the season to anyone other than Jakubowski.
That's going to be just shy of a first down. So inside of 3 minutes now, clock continuing to move. And interestingly, it's Towns that comes off. You would think that they would use the big guy here on third down and short. Inside handoff, Cornelius, and a big surge by that West Deptford line creates plenty of space, and another first down here for the Eagles.
But I think that right there speaks to just how highly they think of Josh Cornelius, that they move him to fullback for that play and give him the ball on third and short to get that first down.
I think it also speaks to their confidence in their offensive line. And a good push there. Credit to the guys in the trenches. First down and 10 inside of 2:20. Handoff, and not a whole lot there. Well, at this point, the clock continuing to move. You know, if you're West Deptford, it's almost a moral victory to come away with eating up clock and not allowing Haddonfield to get excellent field position after being pinned back to your own 9.
That is true, and you see them shuffling a lot of running backs in and out. They've already used 5 different backs so far tonight. Looks like they're trying to spread the ball around quite a bit.
Cornelius in motion. He gets the handoff, and Cornelius will pick up about 6 or 7.
And, you know, maybe this is something that we'll see as the game wears on, but maybe you know, as the adrenaline gets flowing and everything, the toe will actually affect him less, and, you know, because it doesn't seem to be bothering him too much when he's running the football.
West Deptford calls timeout. Third down and 3.
Already 10 carries on the night for Josh Cornelius for 77 yards.
Minute 27 remaining. You see Clyde Folsom. This is an opportunity for him to make sure that they have the right set, and also an opportunity to allow his players to kind of catch their breath. It's been an interesting game thus far. It's a serious ebb and flow, as the first quarter was really all Haddonfield despite no scoring. And after the score quickly into the second quarter, since then it's really been all West Deptford.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's almost a mirror of the first quarter. And, it'll be interesting to see what Clyde calls here because there's a minute and a half left. They're still 50 yards away from the end zone and probably 30 yards away from where you'd want Cornelius to maybe kick from. So they've got to get the first down so they don't have to punt, but they also still want to try and get in scoring position.
Third down. Hannon keeps. Cuts it back inside. Hannon, and he's going to be short. He'll be about a yard short of that first down. Clock continuing to move. A minute 15. We'll see whether or not either team calls a timeout here.
I would almost expect Haddonfield to, except for the fact that even if they punt, they're going to be a good distance away from the end zone.
I think it comes down to a one-half game, essentially, for both coaches. Both of them pleased, I think, with how the game has transpired thus far.
It almost looks now like West Deptford's going to let the clock run down and then call their last timeout.
And that is exactly what they do. So 37.3 remaining. And it is 4th down and 1. So, Scott, let me have you put the coaching hat on here. Do you go for it here?
I tend to think not. I think they'll probably play it conservatively here and be happy to go into halftime with a tie and then try and make some adjustments at halftime to try and, do what they're doing now throughout the second half and not give Haddonfield another one of those big drives.
I think if they had the wind to their back, I think they'd be more apt to go for it. But Walter with the big leg for Haddonfield with the wind to his back. We saw on the punt just how that could affect them. It only takes a couple quick passes and they'd be in the field goal position. So I would tend to agree with you. I think they're apt to punt it away.
Yeah, because, every point's going to be crucial in this game, it seems. with it just 7-7 at this point.
And they are in punt formation.
We'll see how Cornelius here in his first start at punter handles this wind in his face, see what kind of punt he can get off.
This is Luke Cornelius, the brother of Josh. And Cornelius, with no rush whatsoever, will punt it high and short. And again, I think that's something that was planned. The one thing you don't want to end it on is a Chris Dengler punt return for a touchdown.
Possibly. I think he probably wanted to get a little further downfield than that. That'll only end up about a 10-yard punt in the end. So
agreed, but you could see he was angling towards the sideline.
Yeah.
So 28 seconds and change remaining. We are knotted at 7 here at West Deptford High School. Group 2 powerhouses. Colonial Conference matchup. Last year, West Deptford victorious over Haddonfield during the regular season, 31-28, but it was Haddonfield returning the favor in the South Jersey Group 2 championship game, 16-8. That happened back on December the 3rd.
It should be, I'll be interested to see if Frank tries to take a shot downfield here, as close to midfield as they are. And, Simnicki's been throwing the ball well, and obviously Walter's made some great catches. And, with Matt By on the other side, he's no slouch either. So, and even with tight end Alex Walter, he's got some passing options, and they're all big kids, 6'2", 6'4", 6 foot.
Simonicki working out of the shotgun. This is a case where if you're Frank Delana, the first conversation you have with your quarterback is make sure we're protecting the football.
Dingler lined up wide out to the right.
Quarterback draw, and Simonicki will keep. And that will likely be the last play of this first half. And Delano and the Haddonfield coaching staff look like they're already on their way towards the locker room. And sure enough, that'll be the last play in a tightly fought first half. We head to break. West Deptford and Haddonfield tied at 7.
Lenny, Vermont, and Leonard Realtors are known for our innovations in real estate sales. Now we're adding to the technologies available to sellers and buyers by making it easier to get information about a home when a potential buyer sees our real estate sign. At the top of these signs is a text code that can be used in conjunction with a buyer's mobile phone to bring up a complete description of the property, and with a smartphone, photographs, floor plans, and maps as well. Simply enter the text code from the sign into your phone to retrieve this information, and for even more details, press the link to contact the listing agent. Lenny, Vermont, and Leonard Realtors, for innovations in real estate sales. Sports Specialties, your hometown sports outfitter for the serious athlete, is located at 613 Station Avenue, Haddon Heights. We focus on providing top-of-the-line equipment and uniforms at competitive prices and with a level of service not available at the big box sporting goods stores or online sports suppliers. Sports Specialties carries the Zenith football helmet that is designed with the goal of reducing the risk of concussive episodes. Zenith Adaptive Head Protection is a system of integrated technologies designed to reduce the sudden movement of the head by adapting to different energy levels with aware flow shock absorbers, and therefore offers outstanding protection. Sports Specialties, providing the competitive edge for over 22 years.
The Retrospect is your very local source of news and features that you can't get anywhere else. Each week you'll read the headlines from your hometown and surrounding suburban towns. You'll read about the events and people that make your community unique. Stories about your friends and neighbors, and a weekly calendar of events. You'll also take a trip back in history each week when we take you down memory lane, and you'll be able to check out the legal notices once a week and all in the same place. And don't forget about local sports from the schools and community leagues right in your hometown. To find out how to get your copy, visit www.retrospect.com.
Westmont Ace Hardware has been serving the South Jersey area since 1932. The third generation of the founding family still operates our large modern store at 127 Haddon Avenue in Westmont. We offer the convenience of being located right in town on the main street with off-street parking and no hassles driving miles to a shopping center. Westmont Ace Hardware is known for the variety of tools, hardware, and general merchandise that it carries. But we are best known for our knowledgeable salespeople and personal service. If you can describe your hardware need, we can find the exact product to satisfy it. Westmont Ace Hardware, the place to go for all your hardware needs.